So we were discussing about the properties of rational numbers, and we have already discussed the three properties. And now let's discuss the fourth property, which is what? Additive identity. Additive identity. Okay, we will be discussing about additive identity first. So you know that when additive identity means what? It will be mainly based on addition. It will be based on addition. So we are going to do addition here. Okay, and you know that when 0 is added to any rational number, then you will get the same rational number itself. That is, suppose a is a rational number. Suppose a is a rational number and we are going to add 0 to a. Okay, so a plus 0, which is also equal to 0 plus a. Why? Because commutative. Okay, they are commutative. So you can write it in this way. Will be equal to what? A itself. That is, when 0 is added to any rational number, then we will get the same number as the sum, as the result. Okay, so 0 is called what? The additive identity. For example, let's see, when we are adding 5 plus 0, then the answer will be 5 itself. So 0 is the additive identity. Okay, now let's see any other number. 1 by 2. Okay, 1 by 2 plus 0, what will be the answer? 1 by 2 itself. Is it? So here 0 is the additive identity. Now minus 1 plus 0. What is minus 1 plus 0? It's again minus 1. So 0 is the additive identity. Here we have taken three examples. That is, I have considered in the case of whole number. So here also when 0 is added to whole number, we are getting the same whole number itself. Here I have considered a rational number and here I have considered an integer. In all the cases you can see that when 0 is added to that particular number, we are getting the same number itself as the result. So 0 can be called as what? Additive identity. Okay, so whenever additive identity comes into your mind, you should be able to know that 0 is the additive identity. Okay, now let's see the fifth property, which is what? Multiplicative identity. Okay, multiplicative identity means what? You will be considering what? Multiplication. Okay, and here when I am multiplying 1 with any rational number, you can write this a into 1 as what? 1 into a. Why? Because they are commutative. Okay, when I am multiplying 1 with any rational number, you will get the same rational number itself. Okay, so this 1 can be called as what? This 1 can be called as what? Multiplicative identity. Okay, let's see by taking some examples. For example, 5. If I am multiplying this 5 with 1, then the answer is 5 itself. So 1 is the multiplicative identity for 5. Okay. Now suppose I am taking this number 3 by 2 and I am multiplying 3 by 2 with 1, then what will be the answer? 3 by 2 itself. Now suppose I am taking the number minus 5 and I am multiplying it with 1, then what will be the answer? Answer will be minus 5 itself. So 1 is the multiplicative identity in the case of in the case of whole numbers, rational numbers, as well as for integers. After discussing this multiplicative identity, sometimes you may be having one doubt, that is 0. Okay, 0 is a rational number, you know. But 0, when it's multiplied by 1, we will not get 1. Okay, so for 0, what will be the multiplicative identity? But you should know one thing, that 0 when multiplied with any number, okay, we will get 0 itself as the answer. Okay, that is a particular rule for 0. Okay, 0 when multiplied with any rational number, we will get 0 itself. Okay, that's a special rule for 0. Okay, you while considering this multiplicative identity, you don't have to think about that 0. Okay, you have to just know one thing, that is 1 is the multiplicative identity for rational numbers. Okay, so that's it. So that's all about multiplicative identity. So we have discussed about additive identity and multiplicative identity. Now let's see what is the case with sixth property, which is multiplicative inverse or reciprocal. Okay, so multiplicative inverse or reciprocal, that means what? Okay, suppose a by b. Suppose a by b is a rational number. Okay, for example, you can take it as 2 by 3. Okay, and when I am multiplying it with b by a, okay, when I am multiplying it with b by a, or suppose I am multiplying it with 3 by 2, 2 by 3 into 3 by 2, then what will be the result? You know that the result will be 1, isn't it? That is, a into b is ab. What is b into a is ba. Ba means what? Ab itself. Ba and ab means what? Same only. That means AB by AB itself. That means what? It will be equal to 1. That means when you are multiplying A by B with B by A, then the result is 1. Okay. So this B by A is called what? The multiplicative inverse of A by B. That means you have to just change the numerator and denominator. Then you will get the multiplicative inverse. Okay. Understand? So 3 by 2 will be the multiplicative inverse of 2 by 3. Okay. Suppose I am giving the number as minus 5 by 7. Then what will be the multiplicative inverse of minus 5 by 7? You have to just reverse the numerator and denominator. That means 7 by minus 5, or 7 by minus 5 is equal to what? Minus 7 by 5. Okay, that minus you can keep in either numerator or denominator, no problem. Standard form is this. Okay, so you can write it in this way. So the multiplicative inverse or reciprocal of minus 5 by 7 is what? Minus 7 by 5. You need to just change the order of numerator and denominator. Then you will get what? Multiplicative inverse or reciprocal. Okay. Suppose this is our number 2. Okay. Then you are asked to find the multiplicative inverse or reciprocal of 2. Then how will you find it? What is the reciprocal of 2? In this cases, you know that suppose I am taking a. Okay. A into 1 by a is equal to what? 1. Isn't it? A into 1 by a means what? A by a, which is equal to 1. Okay, we are getting the product as 1 here. That means when you are multiplying a with 1 by a, you will get the result as 1. So 1 by a will be the multiplicative inverse of a. Okay. Okay, let's take a number and see. Suppose I am taking 3 and you are asked to find the multiplicative inverse or reciprocal of 3. Then what will be the answer? It will be 1 by 3. Okay, 1 by 3 will be the reciprocal or multiplicative inverse. If it's minus 5, then what will be the answer? 1 by minus 5 will be the multiplicative inverse. Okay, or we can tell minus 1 by 5. Both are correct. Okay, this will be the multiplicative inverse. Okay. Now let's discuss the last property, which is what? Additive inverse. Seventh property, which is additive inverse. Additive inverse means what? Suppose I am taking a number or a rational number as a. Then when something is added to this, you will get the answer as 0. Then what should be this bracket? It will be minus a. Isn't it? A plus minus a is equal to 0. You know that. So this minus a is called what? Additive inverse. Minus a is called the additive inverse of a. Okay, suppose I am taking the number as 1 by 2. Okay, so what is the additive inverse of 1 by 2? You know that 1 by 2 plus minus 1 by 2 is equal to 0. So this minus 1 by 2 is the additive inverse of 1 by 2. Okay, that is, you have to just reverse the sign. If it's plus, then you have to put it minus. If it's minus, then you have to put it plus. Suppose you are asked to find the additive inverse of minus 5. Then what will be the additive inverse of minus 5? It will be 5. Okay. Suppose you are asked to find the additive inverse of minus 5 by 7. Then what is the additive inverse of minus 5 by 7? It's what? Plus 5 by 7, or simply you can write it as 5 by 7. Okay. That is, you need to just change the minus sign or change the sign. If it's minus, you have to put it plus. If it's plus, you have to put it minus. No need of changing the order of numerator or denominator and all. Okay. If you change the order, then it will become multiplicative inverse. Okay. No need of changing it. Additive inverse means what? Just change the sign. Okay. So that's all about additive inverse. So now we have discussed about all these four properties. Now I will give an example and let's find the additive identity, multiplicative identity and everything about that number. Okay. Suppose the question is minus 7 by 8. Okay. First I have to find the additive identity. What will be the additive identity for 7 by 8? Additive identity means what? When added, we should get the same number itself. So the additive identity will be what? 0 itself. 0 will be the additive identity. Okay. Now, what about the multiplicative identity? Multiplicative identity means what? When multiplied, we should get the same number itself. So we know that minus 7 by 8 into 1 is what? Minus 7 by 8. So that multiplicative identity will be 1 itself. Okay, no need of doing this additive identity as well as multiplicative identity. We know that it's 0 and 1. Okay. Now what about the multiplicative inverse or reciprocal? That means it's 7 by 8. Okay, so it's reciprocal or multiplicative inverse means what? You have to just reverse the numerator and denominator or interchange the numerator and denominator. Then we will get the answer as what? 8 by 7. Minus 8 by 7. Okay, minus 8 by 7. Now what about the additive inverse? Additive inverse means what? Additive inverse. Our question is minus 7 by 8. I have told you additive inverse means you have to just change its sign. So since it's minus 7 by 8, its additive inverse will be 7 by 8. Okay. So in this way you can find the additive identity is 0. Additive multiplicative identity is 1. Then what? Multiplicative inverse is minus 8 by 7 and the additive inverse is 7 by 8. In this way you can find all these things. Okay. So I hope you understood all these properties.